Hi, this is Tormod, and I would like to talk about voices in the head. Voices in the head are very common with people who have schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is that occurrence of personalities. You have different personalities, and schizophrenia is when two or three of these personalities are fighting amongst each other or balancing each other out, or in any way having a war inside oneself, in one's mind, sort of body, um, where all these personalities are fighting amongst themselves, fighting out the other, making one speak in very making one speech very fumbling and searching and very not having and speaking things that doesn't make sense. And also, it creates a lot of friction and noise and friction inside the head. What does it mean to have noise and friction inside one's head? If you experience noise slash friction inside your head, you could that could be transmuted into voices in the head, translated voices in the head. Voices in the head are like thoughts. This is very important to understand if you want to deal with voices and self-psychology in honesty. If you want to deal with voices, schizophrenia, and hearing of voices, and psychology of mind, etc., in honesty, you need to realize that the voices that I have been hearing, that you might be hearing, that somebody are hearing, comes from the body of oneself, one's physical, through the years. Memories that are compressed and compounded within one's body, compressed into energies, compounded into matter, into physical matter, energies within the body. Um, they can be stored in the calf, behind the legs, they can be stored in the thighs, in the hands, in the chest, anywhere on the body. Could these, according to what relations they have. This is called structural resonance alignment, meaning that if it's a memory of resistance, they are stored in my upper arms. If it's a memory of power or desire, it will be my thighs or in my buttocks, etc. So on and so forth. They have different places on the body related to what they are about, what the memory is consisting of. Voices in the head are voices, friction, noise, thoughts that comes from oneself. Oneself is the key. Oneself is the answer to finding why one have experienced voice in the head. Voice in the head are like thoughts, only much more loud, much more maybe disturbing, maybe uncomfortable, and sort of negative because of how the memories and energies during one's life have been compressed and compounded into elements, personalities, constructs within one's body. So if you experience voice in the head, realize that thoughts in itself is a tiny destruction of self. Thoughts in itself, ordinary thoughts in itself, is a separation of self as the physical. You are separating yourself from physical self. A tiny tissue of one's muscle tissue is separated metaphysically, and from that a thought sort of carries through in the head. A thought is then just floating like a space shuttle, coming through the head, from the back of one's head or one body, A thought is flowing through like a Matrix movie. The bullets that the aliens are shooting at the Neo and Matrix movie. A thought is then born like going through the head or through the body, and you experience thinking or voices in the head. So very often you hear people saying that I was trying to not think so much, so I started drinking, or I started drugging, or I started doing things, addicting myself to things from wanting to give up thoughts and stressful, etc. thinking. What we need to come to terms with is that thinking in itself is self-destructive. Thinking in itself is to separate oneself from oneself within one's body from what you are, from where you are being. Thoughts in self is a tiny separation of self, of a muscle tissue, and then this entity of flesh or muscles is born and travels through, metaphysically, travels through one's being, and you can see this space shuttle going choo, like a thought, like a bullet or an arrow, like an arrow going pew, there goes the thought, there goes the thought, and the thought goes through one's body as a separation, physical. So if you want to learn this, investigate mind, investigate the links below. Check out my blog on Schizophrenics Journey to Life, where I learn to deal with my voices, where I learn to take responsibility for myself, take responsibility for my thoughts and my voices, and stand on my 2 feet, grounding myself as breath and being a solution to world issues, a solution to my own issues, and live a life in honesty. Check out the links and have a nice day.